One time I saw my head was like a busy street at the end of the day, cars, horns, people all moving and hitting each other. I turned on my laptop and saw the whiteboard for a new sprint, the green board for production, emails jumping up, chat with new notes, a clock counting down to a meeting. At night I closed the laptop. My body said the work was done, but my brain was still like an engine that would not stop. I lay in bed and looked at the ceiling. A small bug I made months ago pulled me back to the past. A new project pulled me into the future. Both of them pulled me away from the now. That was the time I was a lead for a big team. Duty on top of duty. I also like to do too much. Worst of all, I forgot how to smile. Then one afternoon, in the middle of days that spun like a top, I learned again a skill that, it turns out, we all have. An older friend, who had been a psychologist before he went to work with plants and sometimes helped our tech team, met me at a small shop on a corner. He did not talk in circles. He poured a glass of water right up to the top, pushed it to me and said, "Take this glass and walk to the park and come back. Do not drop even one drop." It sounded like a joke, but his eyes were serious. So I went. The road went a bit up. Dry leaves broke under my shoes. Horns, people selling things, kids laughing while they kicked a ball. The water in the glass looked tight like a mirror. I walked slow. Each step matched my breath. I came back to the shop. My hand was wet from sweat. The water was still full. He asked, "Did you see the kids with the ball?" I shook my head. He asked, "Did you hear the birds in the trees?" I shook my head again. He nodded. Then you just remembered a very old power of people, to put all of your attention on one thing. You are not empty. You choose to fill up with the right thing. That line was like a switch. On the way home, I felt my shoulders drop. My steps felt light. Peace was not a gift far away. It shows up when I choose to come back to this moment with my own glass of water. After that afternoon, I brought the glass of water into my work and my life. Not magic, very normal things. I will tell 3 stories. They are not the same, but one thin red string runs through them. The first story is a night on call. Our team had just pushed a new version for the payment service. Near midnight, warning lights turned red. The rate of good payments went down. That bad feeling came fast. I opened 12 tabs. I jumped between the dashboard, the logs, user messages, and the chat. Each person pulled in a different way. My brain fell apart like someone had put more boxes on a fast car. I remembered the glass of water. I turned off extra screens. I looked at one flow only. From the user's request to the gateway, to the risk check, to the inside service, back to the user. I told the team find one place that can spill, like the edge of the glass. A teammate said there was a small change in the risk check in the late afternoon. We marked that place. We looked at logs from before and after. In 5 minutes we saw the leak. It was a data type match rule that looked harmless, but it made a choke point when traffic moved by the hour. We rolled back the rule. The system came back. The line turned green and steady. I was not the smartest one in the room, but with the glass of water, I pulled the attention of the whole team to one flow. We all took a long breath, me too. The second story is a tea time with a teacher in Japan. He taught me what I never learned in school. He showed how to pour hot water into the pot, how to wait for the right moment, how to tilt the hand so the water falls like a thin string, how to place the cup so the hot air spreads the same. I asked why so careful. He said, "When you pour tea but your head is somewhere else, the tea will taste bitter." He did not talk about big ideas. He told me to listen to the sound of water, to look at the steam like a soft fog. A cup poured with no hurry has a different taste. When I stepped out to the street after that, the train on the bridge above seemed to pull my breath long. I understood more why many old ways are not there to slow people down. They teach the brain to match the beat of life. The third story is a morning in Singapore. I ran by the sea. The wind tasted like salt. The sun was salt. Bikes slid past. I stopped at a shop for breakfast and ordered a bowl of noodles. While I waited, I played the old game. I used 5 senses to keep me here. I looked at the color of the soup. I heard the knife and board at the next counter. I felt the heat of the bowl on my hand. I smelled the green onion. I tasted the first spoon. 10 minutes later, my head felt clean. That morning I wrote the tech design that I could not finish for 3 days. Let me talk about science for a bit, so we all have one more reason to trust our own feelings. Our brain uses a lot of energy even when we do nothing. Because it is a guess machine, it runs small movies of the future, rewinds the past, and makes then plans. Long ago this helped us stay alive. Today the data going into that machine is alerts, news, and what we expect from each other. We think we rest, but the hidden line in the brain still works. It keeps pulling our attention. When that movie runs too strong, we call it worry. When we invite our attention to come back, the movie does not vanish. It moves to the back, and the thing we are doing moves to the front. There is another small fact. When we breathe out longer than we breathe in, the body calms down and the heart slows. That is why people tell each other to breathe with a count. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Not to reach a high level, but to tell the body that now it is safe. When the body feels safe, the brain is ready to look at one thing. When we focus on one thing, we avoid the blink of attention. That is a short blind moment of the brain when too much comes in at once. Like the eye blinks, the ear blinks, the brain blinks. When we choose one point to look at and one sound to hear, we open our view again. There is a common mix-up. Empty your mind sounds like we must not think at all. That is not real. The brain always works. My goal is not to kill thoughts. My goal is to change the channel. Do not let the loud news channel play in the back all day. Open the one channel we need right now, one line of code, one bar of music, one chopstick that picks up a soft piece of tofu. When this channel is on, the other channels go small, later they may go loud again, then I change the channel again, that is all. I bring this way into many small parts of the job. In a code review, instead of jumping between 10 files, I follow one red string of one change from start to end. What touches data? What touches access? What touches speed? It is like carrying a glass of water in a small lane. Eyes fixed on the water of this change only. When I write a design doc, I put one question at the top. What matters most to the reader in a role not like mine? Then the whole doc serves that one question. The rest can wait. When I mentor, I ask a new teammate to pick one bug from last week. Tell the story. Why did you fix it this way? What other ways were there? No big theory. Just the glass in the hand, real weight, real path. Outside of work, I use it for music. I used to train my right hand, but think of my left hand. Then my left hand thought of the solo in the middle. The end was that both hands got stuck. Now I pick one chord round. I listen to the string touch the fret. I feel the nail press the string. I invite all senses to sit next to the sound. 15 minutes like that do more than 30 minutes of playing and drifting. When I teach new folks, I give the class a strange task. Each person puts a coin on the back of the hand, walks from the door to the back of the room, and comes back. The task is not to show off, it is to let the ear hear the footsteps again. To let the eye see the thin line of light on the floor. To let the brain learn that focus is a skill we can train. After 10 minutes, the air in the room goes quiet in the best way. People ask real life is loud. How do we keep this? I do not try to turn life into a quiet lab. I build small windows in the morning. Before I open the inbox, I write the 3 jobs that need full attention, 3 glasses of water, and set a time for each glass. In that time, I turn off alerts, close tabs, and put the phone more than an arm away. When a block ends, I do not jump to the next job at once. I put the glass down. I spend one short minute to write one line about what I just did, one thing I thank myself for, and one thing I will leave here. The brain likes these closed, the loop steps. They help me not to carry water from this glass to the next glass. When I must work with people, I use a trick I call turn the camera. If a meeting is hot and feelings are high, I turn the camera to what I can control, my voice, my pace. The one question I need to make clear. I try to say back the other person's idea in a fair way. What I cannot control, the other person's feelings, the big group's plan, the changes out there. I keep them in the back. I do not deny what is real. I just set the right order. Like walking with a glass through a busy place, I cannot make all people be quiet. I can step slow. I can hold my hand steady. I can look at the water. For a student who is getting ready for a test, I give the same advice I give to myself. Do not think of the whole mountain in one afternoon. Pick one problem. One idea, set a timer for 15 minutes, sit up straight, put both feet on the floor, breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. When the head slides away, and it will smile and bring it back, like you fix the glass and make it straight. For someone in an office, try no multitask in the first part of the meeting. For the first 10 minutes, do not type, do not look at the phone. Just listen and write 3 notes by hand. For a person who takes care of family, the glass can be the pan with eggs in the morning. Watch the color of the yolk change. Hear the soft hiss. Smell the butter. 10 minutes like that is breakfast and also a small sense lesson. For someone in art, the glass is one stroke, one brush move, one breath before a songline. For a person who starts a company, the glass is one number that matters for life, not all numbers. Each day, look at that number for a set time. Noise can wait. In a wider view, history tells me that people always make small acts to tame the mess. When we hunted and picked food, these acts were the fire and the story and the steps that matched. When we farmed, they were the calendar of the seasons and the bell for time. When machines grew, they were the factory horn that cut the day into shifts. Today, phone alerts are like the horn, but they call us all day with no stop. If we do not make new acts of our own, we will be pulled by the act of the device. The glass of water is one small act. It takes back our right to choose our attention. It is cheap, simple, and it works because it goes right to our senses. There is another trap. We push feelings down. The head is loud, so we try to chase the thoughts away. The more we chase, the more they stick. My way is to name them, not fight them. All this is worry before a talk. This is fear of being judged. When you call a feeling by its right name, it is like a child who stops crying because someone finally looks at it. Then I put it in line. I stick a small note on it. I will work on this at 3 in the afternoon. I make time with myself. I put it on the calendar. The brain listens to things that are on the calendar more than to things that float. After that, I go back to the glass of water. My work day now looks very different from before. In the morning, I have one deep work block for the most important job. No alerts, no chat. At the end of that block, I put the glass down for 1 minute. Then I do the jobs that need others. In the middle of the day, I take 15 minutes to walk. I breathe with the 4-2-6 rhythm, so my body resets. When I need to create, I play guitar for 5 minutes. I only bring my ears to the strings. In the afternoon, I put the rest of my energy into mentoring or code review, one red string each time. At night, I try to stop screens early. Before I sleep, I wash my hands slowly. I look at the bubbles go away. I hear the water. 50 seconds as simple as a short poem. I know not every day is a sweet song. Some days a storm hits, a project turns, a customer changes the plan, a teammate moves teams, and those times the glass is even more key. I sat in a call once with an angry customer. My heart beat fast. My hands were wet. I put my hand on the table and felt the cold of the wood. I breathed out long. I said one line only. Let me say back what I think I heard. After that line, I felt the room calm down. Not because I am great. It is because focused attention slows time, most of all in a hard time. People ask, how do you keep a habit? I do not use willpower alone. I design the room. I put a water bottle and a small stone on my desk. When I feel pulled away, I touch the stone. The sense of touch brings me back. I set a gate rule. Before I open email, I must write 3 lines in the doc I am working on. I set a bell to stand up every about 90 minutes. The body works in waves. It goes up and down, it rests and then goes up again. When I end the day, I write a very short letter to my next day self. 3 lines, no more. This letter is a small bridge between 2 shores of attention. The next morning, I step on the bridge and I do not get dragged by noise. In a class I teach, a young friend felt lost before a test. He said his head kept playing bad scenes. I asked him to try the coin task on the back of the hand. The first time, he dropped the coin in 5 steps. The class laughed. I said a drop is also a lesson. We did it again. The second time, he walked the full room. His face changed. He still felt nerves in the test, but he told me later I took a coin with me. Not for luck, to remind me of the true weight of now. With my team, I turned the glass into a culture. In the morning, each person writes 3 things they will do well that day on the board, not more. In the middle of the day, each person has a quiet hour. We all respect that quiet for each other. At the end of the day, we have a thank you act. Each person says a small thing they thank a teammate for that day. It sounds simple. It calms the movie maker in the brain. In a place with many cultures where I have worked, this act also helps us see that behind each difference is a person who tries. When attention goes to what others did well, trust goes up, and our speed as a team goes up. In the end, that is also how we get better results. I want to say more to those of you who care for family or raise kids. Being tired and short on sleep is normal. Do not turn the glass into a new stress. Pick very small glasses, 1 minute to look at your child sleep before you open your phone, 2 minutes to close your eyes and hear the kettle boil, 5 minutes to stand by the window and watch the rain. Strange but true. These small windows tell the body it is safe. From there, you have more energy to go back to a loud life. For those who are going through a hard time, loss, sickness, a breakup, I have no big advice. I am just thankful for the glass lesson because it gives me a place to stand. It does not ask us to be strong right now. It does not ask us to forget our pain. It asks very little. In these 10 breaths, can we be here? In the next 10 breaths, we choose again. From small parts like that, we cross long roads. Here is one more thing. When I live this way, my new ideas grow more. I do not spread my energy everywhere. I gather it in one point like sunlight through a lens. New ideas often do not come when I push my brain too hard. They come when I give it a clean space, a morning run, a slow cup of tea, a careful hand wash. In the moments when I do nothing else, ideas come in quiet. After years in the job, I see that the hardest skill is not a complex one. The hardest is to come back to simple things and do them each day. We all know to sleep enough, drink water, breathe deep, and do one thing at a time. It sounds like a note at the start of a book, yet those things are the base. Without the base, new tricks cannot stand. The glass of water is only a name that is easy to remember for that base. If today you and I take just one thing with us, it is the right to choose. The right to choose what will take space in our head right now. I cannot tell the storm to stop out there. I can make a small window where I stand strong in the wind. Each time I feel pulled away, I say to myself one thing only, one glass only. I invite my eyes to look at the water again. I invite my ears to hear my breath again. I invite my hand to feel the weight of the thing I hold. When I do that, the world does not get less messy, but I am less pushed around by it. At the end of the day, I like to play an old music line. Each note falls in the right place with no rush. In the warm light, I remember the first afternoon I carried a glass of water through a loud street. I can see that past me, tired, trying, lost in the me of now, still tired on heavy days, still trying, but knowing how to come back to a shore. That shore is not far. It is in a breath, in one step, in a glass filled to the very top. If you are still here with me, maybe some part of this story meets your life too. I hope you try one small practice today. Pick a normal thing, wash your hands, pour tea, tie your shoes, and do it like it is the only job in the world for 1 minute. When you finish, look at how your body feels. If it is a bit lighter and a bit more calm, then we trained once. Tomorrow we train one more time. Step by step, like putting bricks down, we build a quiet house inside. The wind may still blow out there, but when we need it, we know the way home.